Very good morning to all the class 6 students. In this video, we are going to discuss about your physics chapter. In the previous videos which we have conducted, we have discussed about the bio chapter and then we have to talk about our chemistry chapters. So now we will deal with one physics chapter also, which will make up a total 5 chapters. So now physics chapter, the first chapter of your physics will be your motion and measurement. So we have to talk about motion. What is motion? What do we mean by measurement? And what are the relative terms with the motions and measurement? So with the motion and measurement, what do we mean by motion? Motion is nothing but it means what? Change of position. That means if you are changing your position from one place to another place with respect to time is called as your motion. And then motion is classified into many types. So types of motions are like linear motion, curvilinear motion, random motion, rotatory motion, oscillatory motion, periodic motion and so on. Even repetitive motion is also there, vibratory motion is also there. So there are many types of motion. So now we will be talking about what do we mean by rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion is that when a person moves on a straight path or in a rectangular path, that kind of motion is called as a rectilinear motion. Then we have what next is our curvilinear motion. So when you are moving in a curved path, that means the path is not straight, it is in a curved way, then that kind of motion will be called as your curvilinear motion. Next is what we have to talk about rotatory motion. Rotatory motions will be like a rotating of your fan, the movement of the fan, music speaker that is moving in a radio tape also. That kind of motion is called as your rotatory motion, which moves in a circular way. That motion is called as your rotatory motion. Next is what? Oscillatory motion. So oscillatory motion means what? It will be oscillating from one point to another point. Is that kind of motion is called as your oscillatory motion. That means the to and fro movement of a body is called as an oscillatory motion. Example, the best example of oscillatory motion is the pendulum clock. As you can, it will be given in your book in page number 113, figure number 10.8. Oscillatory motion. The example is pendulum clock. You can see even the ringing arm is also having a vibratory motion. So pendulum clock does what? It used to oscillate from one position to the another position and again it used to return to the mean position. That kind of motion is called as your oscillatory motion. That means to and fro motion is called as the oscillatory motion. Next is what? Vibratory motion. So the clock used to vibrate or even your mobiles used to vibrate. That kind of motion is called as your vibratory motion. Then we have the periodic motion. That means what? It moves in a fixed path and within a fixed limited of time. That motion is called as your periodic motion. Example is what? The revolution and rotation of the earth, that it takes 365 days to complete. That is called as your periodic. So we can say what is periodic motion? Motion which repeats itself after a fixed or regular intervals of time is termed as your periodic motion. Example is revolution of the earth. Next is repetitive motion. That means motions which used to repeat continuously. That kind of motion is called as your repetitive motion. Example, when you bang on the music instruments or you are playing the music instruments continuously, that kind of motion is called as your repetitive motions. So these are all about the various types of motion. Next we have to discuss about the measurement. What do we mean by measurement? What is the need of measurement? What are the various tools which is required for measuring length? So measurement means what? Measurement means involves the comparison of some unknown quantity with a fixed known quantity. That is called as a measurement. That means what? You are measuring some object with a unknown that length we do not know with another device which length we know. That kind of measurement is called as that is defined as a measurement. That means what? Measurement is a quantity which is used for comparing of the two things with unknown length and then with a known length. So what is the need of measurement? Why there is a need of measurement? That question arises. Why the needs of measurement has come? The need of measurement has come because if you are not knowing what a person has to cover to travel a distance, then what is the distance, then you will not be knowing which path to take and which way you will be best suited for covering a short distance. So in order to depending on how far. If you are traveling for a school, then which vehicle you will take go to your school. Like if you do not know the distance, you might take you walk on the foot also, that will take a very long period of time, or you can take a bus also if the school is very far. It's like that cycle also. For that reasons measurement is required. So these are some of the cases. Many more other cases is there. Then what are the tools or units of measurement? The tools and units of measurement we used to classify in the SI unit term, or you can say the standard units of measurement. The standard units of measurements are different for different objects. Like length, we have the centimeter, you can say centimeter, meter, kilometer. These are the units of the length. Next, for mass, we have the kg or gram. For time, second or minute or hour. Electric current, we have the ampere, and so on. There are for temperature, we have the Kelvin scale, thermometer, that is Fahrenheit, and so on. So these are the ones. So the last one is what precautions should be taken while measuring the length. What are the precautions that should be taken while you are measuring the length? The precautions that should be taken while we are measuring a length, that means with a ruler scale, or while we are measuring a ball, that means a diameter ball, with a meter or with a thread also we can take. The precaution should be taken that the ruler should be kept very straight. There should be no error while measuring the length of a cube or rectangular box or anything, whichever the object you are measuring. The eyesight which you are observing should be vertically towards the object, so that there should be no error while seeing the length of the unknown object. So these are some of the precautions which will be taken while measuring the length of a given body. Like even the length or measuring the diameter of a ball, even we can take what the ball should be carefully held within the wooden blocks, then ensure the wooden blocks are smooth and vertically placed. So these are some of the cases that we should take precautions while measuring the length of a rectangular block or the length of a ball or anything you measure. There should be a correct measurement for that. So the precautions, various types of precautions in detail is given in your book. You go through the book and even watch the video so that you will have a clear concept. Thank you.